Everyone thinks AI characters have to be flawless to convert. They build these perfectly symmetrical, airbrushed plastic Barbies that look completely dead inside. That perfection doesn't sell. Reality does. If you want an audience to trust your brand recommendations, you have to break the uncanny valley. You don't prompt for perfection. You engineer mass, inertia, gravity, and the subtle imperfections that make a body real. This isn't generic stock footage. This is a multi-pass, data-blended asset built to showcase exact physical products from multiple angles. When the fabric physics match real-world textiles seamlessly, your digital character becomes a lean, high-converting performance marketing engine. Hi, I'm old Sloan. I'll miss you. Now, sit back, relax, and I'm going to teach you how I took Sloan from where she was to where she is now. Everyone thinks AI characters need to be perfect to be convincing. My creator learned the hard way that perfection just looks like a plastic doll. The real magic? That happened when she stopped chasing flawless and started engineering reality. Everyone talks about chasing the perfect image, but I've learned that perfection is just static. It's a dead end. Early on, I spent a lot of time trying to optimize for efficiency, trying to force the tools to do the heavy lifting for me. It was fast, but it didn't hold any weight. There was no texture to the work, and eventually, I realized it didn't feel like me. So I changed my approach. I stopped looking for the shortcut and started engineering the result. I went back to the data, the real, tactile details of how I move, how the light hits my face, the specific cadence of my own identity. I stopped asking the machine to guess, and I started teaching it the nuance. Building a reflection like this doesn't happen by accident. It happens by slowing down. When you stop trying to prompt your way into a result and start owning the process, you don't just get a better render. You get a brand that actually lasts. That's the work. The rest of it, that's just noise. Speed is cheap. Anyone can generate 1,000 images in an hour. But nuance, that takes time. And that's the difference between a tool and a craft. And I'm not interested in tools. I'm interested in the work. You've seen how Sarah and I are operating now, but it didn't just happen overnight. Achieving this level of consistency, being able to place myself in a French alpine terrace, a high-end office, or anywhere else while maintaining perfect continuity, took a complete reset. These were the originals. They served their purpose, but there were limits to the output, especially with anatomy and environmental blending. They lacked the grit and the specific physical detail I needed for more cinematic shots. So I went back into the lab. I loaded my 30 strongest data points into Higgsfield Soul and built a new identity from the ground up. I specifically prompted for these clean, studio-lit headshots in a high-neck turtleneck, one of them being sleeveless. Why? Because it forces the AI to focus on the facial anatomy, the skin texture, and the specific lighting profile without the distraction of complex clothing or messy backgrounds. Look at the difference in the eye shape, the skin finish, and the muscle definition. By tightening up the reference set, I've essentially given the engine a higher fidelity map to follow. The result? I can now be placed anywhere. The AI isn't guessing who I am anymore. It knows. It doesn't matter if it's a snowy peak or a studio desk. The character stays, the consistency holds, and the uncanny factor is gone. If you're building your own digital identity, don't just generate, engineer your reflections. Because, as you can see, the data you feed the system is exactly the quality of life you're going to get back. People ask how I went from raw, disorganized noise to the Sloan you see today. It's all about a clean, disciplined process in Higgsfield. I input my very best 25 to 35 images. Don't upload a graveyard of assets. Upload your best, consistent looks to define your character. Keep your prompts clean because simple backgrounds force the AI to prioritize facial consistency over anything else. And that's the reality of the upgrade. You've seen the process. Now it's time to put it to work. If this breakdown gave you a clearer path for your own character, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next session. I'm building this channel for you, so drop a comment below and tell me exactly what you want to see me tackle next. You're my favorite people to work with, but remember, the only way out is through. I'll see you in the next one.